scoring-wise in the past.
Well, what a game last March 12th to be exact, when the Blazers defeated the Suns 111-101. The night where then Trailblazer Steve Blake had a terrific game against Steve Nash, and the Trailblazers got the win. Here's Raja Bell, and they do shoot the three-pointer quite a bit, and they are 5th best in the NBA at 38% per game, and Raja Bell at 43% from behind the three-point line hits there.
He loves the corner.
Nice pass from Zach Randolph, who picks up the assist. Normally it's Jack to Randolph. This time, Zach to Jack.
Interesting that LaMarcus Aldridge is starting on Diaw. Diaw will take him outside and almost play the point against him.
And Udoka starting low on Amari Stoudemire. Amari takes advantage of that early, takes him down low and scores.
They adjust rather well to the matchups on the court. And
not a good pass. Jarrett Jack taken away by Amari Stoudemire. No bucket. Mike Callahan says on the floor out near the top of the key is where the foul was called. Still, you hate to see LaMarcus Aldridge have to give up one of those valuable fouls in transition.
His first team foul.
Jarrett Jack only averaging 2 turnovers a game, and he kind of floated that pass in. If there's one guy on this team that'll get into the passing lanes, it's Amari Stoudemire.
Should let Amari have the dunk, as it's a clear path foul, and that's 2 in the ball. And you see the rule change. All the players start to come in after the first free throw. Last year it was just 1 in the ball, but they changed that. It's 2 in the ball now, so it really is basically equal to a flagrant foul.
Looked like Mike D'Antoni called that more than Mr. Callahan on that. It looked like they had caught up to him and fouled him. And at first I thought he just called a side out of bounds, but he was calling the 2 in the ball.
Actually, it would have been better to be an and 1 and have the foul be on the shot. It wouldn't have been 2 in the ball. And a foul called, and if this is on Aldridge, this is his second. And it is, and just like that, Portland undersized and shorthanded at the center position is going to have to go to the bench early with likely Jamal McGlure. No, Nate McMillan says Travis Outlaw.
You see Callahan going down the court already, the referee that had the best look at that call. And they called it from the other side of the bench, James Capers. Boy, and you'd hate to see Aldridge simply because he can go outside. And
he can run.
Yeah, he's the guy that can stay up with these guys on the break.
Bell has it deep against Udoka. And a foul called. Boris Diaw will be shooting the free throws. Udoka picks up the foul. His first, 3rd team already on Portland.
You're not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing. They have been posting up more this year. But when they start posting up, then they quit penetrating and kicking out to the three-point shooters. So, you know, it's a good thing and a bad thing.
1 of 2 from Diaw. The rebound taken by Randolph. We mentioned early on, the Trailblazers have been falling in these big holes early in ball games. Did again last night, and Phoenix on top 8-2 here. Jarrett Jack taking Nash baseline, and they're going to score the bucket and call a blocking foul on Steve Nash. You can't believe that. So free throws coming, or 1 free throw that is, for Jarrett Jack.
And let's see if his body is in there. No, he was still moving. That's a good call. Just one more half a step and he had been there. You can see he's still moving, and Jack still has the right of way almost to the basket.
And the three-point play by Jarrett Jack, who's been playing well. Jarrett with all 5 Blazer points.
And you see Jack picks up Nash full court, simply not to steal the ball, but to take them out of their offense. They love to run as much on makes as misses.
4th team foul on Portland in less than 2 minutes, and all fouls of that variety with the exception of LaMarcus Aldridge's clear path foul.
Mike D'Antoni looked down at Nate McMillan and kind of smiled and said, oh, it's going to be one of those nights. That's the suit he wore when he coached in Italy.
So I'm sure he bought a few over there. Stoudemire, Zach Randolph can't afford to foul. Stoudemire misses the lay-in. So Phoenix, the 3rd best free throw shooting team in the NBA, will be shooting on the next foul for the rest of the quarter. Randolph moving on Amari, flips it up and in with the left hand.
And you know, you mentioned about how well they shoot foul shots. The problem is they never get to the line. They're number 30 in the NBA at getting to the line. They're usually a pick and roll, penetrate, kick out type of team. And they just don't get to the foul line.
Well, I think they will be getting there this quarter.
Yeah, that's why it's so unusual to have somebody in foul trouble.
Stoudemire stepped on the baseline. Good defense by Outlaw, and good help side by Zach Randolph as well as they had him hemmed in. And the Blazers look to take the lead. You see the slap away by Amari Stoudemire. Could have been called an offensive foul easily.
Trying to get fit Amari back into the lineup has been a little difficult for this ball club.
Jarrett Jack drew a triple team. Zach Randolph missed the shot. Ime Udoka, who Ime had a great first half last night in Sacramento and really kept the Trailblazers in that ball game.
If there has been a Mr. Consistency award for the Blazers, it is Ime Udoka.
Nash takes the tough shot over the outstretched arm of Outlaw and hits, and Phoenix back on top.
Well, his shooting percentage is up where it always is, and he's scoring more points than he ever has in his career right now.
Outlaw. Foul on Sean Marion. We got the arm of Travis going for that. Matt Boland with the call, and that's the first team foul, second team foul on the Suns as Marcel Webster will inbound.
You want to run against Phoenix, but if you don't have it, then you have to make them play defense for more than 2 passes, because that's when they get bored and you can get a good shot against them.
Jack, little pick and roll with Zach Randolph. Zach steps back and is long with the shot, and Udoka held to the floor. And James Capers all over this call, and it's going to be on Steve Nash, his second.
The reason that they're a pretty good defensive rebounding team is everyone usually is running back after a shot to stop their fast break, and no one really goes after the offensive boards.
So third team foul now on Phoenix. These things have a way of evening themselves out.
Boy, they should have stayed over here with Udoka.
Jack inside. Udoka thought about the shot, now goes baseline. A little bit long, and Amari cleans up the rebound.
Udoka not great at dribbling and shooting off the move. Much better with his feet under him.
Nash given some room by Jarrett Jack and makes him pay. Second field goal for Nash in the game, 4 points for him.
They're number 3 in field goal percentage, 48%. So this is not unusual, them making baskets.
Nash doubles down on Randolph. Blazers trying to swing it in a hurry. It ends up with Udoka out top. Now Randolph. Murray drops back. Zach's got to hit that shot, and does this time.
Interesting that they started Nash on Udoka, and he's the guy that's double teaming. They're leaving Udoka wide open. Normally they leave Jack open in double team.
Bell drives to the hoop, missed the shot, but nobody got a body on Amari Stoudemire, and he tips it up and in. Stoudemire 6 points now in the game to go along with his 2 rebounds.
Well, that's when you're coaching, your teeth start to grind when you see something like that. They get a bad miss, and then the Blazers don't clean up.
Marcel Webster trying to go inside to Zach Randolph. Not a good entry pass, and Portland turns it over for the second time. Nash gets the switch. Diaw now is being guarded inside by Jarrett Jack. And a defensive 3-second technical called on Zach Randolph, who is not guarding Amari Stoudemire. So Steve Nash at 89%, which is actually low for him, will shoot the technical foul.
Can you think of another guy in the NBA that can play all 5 positions like Diaw? I mean, you talk about versatility. This guy
and did it last year.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of occasions.
He played center when Amari was out of there, and then he played point guard. Right now, he's taking Travis outside, and he's becoming the point guard.
They lob it up on the inbounds to Marion. The pass by Diaw a little high, and they turn it over. Jarrett Jack in transition, top of the key, shot off. Udoka fights and gets it back. Pump fake, scores, and is fouled.
Well, this is something new. Ime Udoka's not a great offensive rebounder. Tonight, against this Phoenix team that's leaking out on shots, Udoka's really getting strong around that basket. And they do leak out. They want to run when they get down there. Half of their possessions, they shoot under 2 passes. Bang, bang, and then a shot. Average about 83 shots a game, so you got to slow them down tempo-wise. And
a 3-point play by Udoka. And the Trailblazers back to within one, and that was, by the way, the fourth team foul on Phoenix, so both these teams now shooting the rest of the way on the next foul. Stoudemire inside, turns baseline, and throws that down hard. We haven't seen as much above the rim play by Amare Stoudemire since the microfracture surgery that they've talked so much about. But this, one of those dunks we've seen from him maybe a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, they let him get his rhythm on that one. The one before that, he didn't have his rhythm and he couldn't really explode, and he took steps. You just can't have him wide open like that.
Martell Webster wide open underneath. Travis missed him. Jarrett Jack has it with 10 to shoot. Zach right past Marion. Reverses it up. No. Tips it up in. Stoudemire was there. Zach had to throw it up a little bit off, and a foul on Martell Webster, and free throws coming now for Raja Bell.
As we said, they're as dangerous when you make a basket as when they missed. You see Zach Randolph going and tipping this in. Now watch them grab it, and you really have to hustle back on. They outlet to half court to Nash, and then Nash is the best in the business at receiving a ball sideways. He never has his back to the basket, and he can twirl in a half turn and hit somebody running down court.
Free throws 6 and 7 this quarter for Phoenix, and we're not yet halfway through the quarter.
And as we said, that's very unusual. They make foul shots, but they rarely get foul shots, and they rarely get second chance points. They're the worst at it in the NBA. So that's where you have to really concentrate and beat them.
Suns dropping off Portland. We've seen this from Blazer opponents, and so important that guys like that hit from the perimeter to loosen up that defense a little bit, and Travis Outlaw gets his first field goal.
That was 4 passes. That's what you have. They get bored after 2, and you can get a good shot.
Amare Stoudemire backdoor again, turns inside. Zach blocked the shot, but Amare still strong enough to put it in the hoop, and Zach didn't get many blocked shots. That would have been one.
Yeah, Martell in that back zone defense let Amare get inside.
Outlaw against Amare Stoudemire. Travis baseline, drew the foul, nearly got the bucket, but he'll shoot free throws. So a nice move by Travis Outlaw to get the foul call on Amare Stoudemire. 5:29 left here, opening quarter. Suns lead the Trailblazers by 3. Jarrett Jack takes a long 2, and it's well short. Marion saves to Raja Bell, and here come the Suns in transition.
You can be patient on offense, but you have to do something while you're being patient.
Boris Diaw inside. Been there so far in this game, as Juan Dixon will check in for the Trailblazers. And you talk about missing shot blockers like Portland is, and they'll be coming back very soon.
Well, that's a guy named Steve Nash with 11 assists per game. He can find your weaknesses. There's no doubt about that. And he found the mismatch right there with Boris Diaw. Diaw a minute ago was playing point guard, and then he became the center right there.
Randolph back to Juan Dixon. Shot clock down to 10. Blazers confused on that right side. Finally get it to Zach Randolph with the shot clock down to 3. Zach against 3 Phoenix Suns, and it's easily blocked away. Here's Marion. 1-on-3.
Kurt Thomas, their best defender on this ball club, and he's checking Zach now.
Marion for 3. It misses everything. Ime Udoka makes the fair catch.
Sean Marion's not their best three-point shooter, but he'll do it.
Jack underneath to Juan Dixon, who was too deep. Outlaw floats to the middle. That ball blocked partially by Marion and picked up, and Randolph steals it back and scores.
Well, Zach is the best, second best in the NBA at second chance points. He already has 4 tonight.
Blazers back to within 5. Marion inside missed the shot but drew the foul. He will shoot 2 free throws. Free throws 9 and 10 here in the quarter.
Watch Zach right here. They get a little careless with the ball now and then, but if you miss that pass that Zach went for, they're going 4-on-2 at the other end.
Well, Ime Udoka has been playing so well, but he has been getting into a bit of foul trouble. That's his second, so Stephen Graham up off the Blazer bench will replace Ime. who sits down with 5 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist.
He's one of the only ones.
Marion misses 2.
Yeah, in the starting lineup that really will help out Ime. That's why he gets into foul trouble. That was Joel Przybilla when he was playing. He helped everybody out, and he'd get into foul trouble trying to be the whole defensive scheme.
Drop it down to Zach. He's double teamed as usual. Tries to skip it out of there and does. Shot clock at 5. Outlaw has to take a long 2, and it is long, and the rebound taken by Kurt Thomas. Running the break, Randolph with the kick, and that was a good kick save by Zach because that would have been a lay-in for Marion. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 2:52 left here in the first quarter from Portland. It's a 5-point lead for the Phoenix Suns. For failure, I apologize.
No, it's all right. I'll think about it when we get closer to.
Marcus Banks has checked in for Phoenix as Steve Nash gets his first break. Raja Bell tries a 3 in the corner. It's short. Rebound Outlaw inside.
That's where Bell loves to shoot that 3-point shot right from that corner.
Last night, of course, in the first quarter, it was Sacramento shooting in the 70 percentile range, and Phoenix right now at 70%, 9 of 13.
Well, without Barbosa here tonight, when Nash goes out of the ball game, they get a little wild.
Stephen Graham tries a long 3. The rebound claimed by Marion. Boy, Portland not good on the offensive boards last night, and with only 6, and it's 1 and done so far tonight. Kurt Thomas fades and hits.
Well, that time Jarrett Jack got caught back with Kurt Thomas. That is not a good matchup for the Blazers. They'll switch everything with this lineup in there. They're about equally as big at every position. That's why they're difficult to run an offense against.
Graham tries to into the ball to Zach Randolph. Kurt Thomas tips it away. Jamal McGlure now checks in, and Zach Randolph will take a break.
This is probably the best time to put Jamal in against Kurt Thomas. If there's one guy that doesn't run well on Phoenix, it's Kurt Thomas.
Juan Dixon takes a long 2. It's long, and the rebound pulled down by Boris Diaw. And Juan Dixon, not a good shooting night last night in Sacramento. Blazers, as we said early on here, desperately need some perimeter shooting from someone tonight. Marcus Banks, right side. Thomas gets McGlure off the ground, drives to the hoop and spins it in. Impressive move by Kurt Thomas.
He can play. There's no doubt about it. Kurt Thomas, he's a good addition to this team, although he doesn't fit their style of play. When they play in the West, he has to come.
Second field goal for Travis Outlaw in the game. He has 5 points. Blazers shooting 48%. That's fine, except that Phoenix is shooting 73%.
We'd like to say that doesn't happen often, but it happened last night early in that ball game against the Kings.
Marion, 5 to shoot. Throws it into the fourth row. Marion got a kick out of his own pass. Take a look at Thomas again. This is impressive here on the baseline.
Yeah, because he doesn't drive very much. He's got a great 15-foot standing jump shot, but he doesn't go to the rack.
Oh, nice dish inside. Jarrett Jack to Jamal McGlure, who dunks it home, and the Blazers back to within 5. 35 seconds left, opening quarter.
They really haven't gone to their pick-and-roll offense.
Marcus Banks traveled with the ball, got away with it. Here's Raja Bell for 3 out top, and that costs Portland 3 points.
Yeah, some referees call that lifting the pivot foot immediately. Others just call it like it used to.
For a star like Marcus Banks, you tend to get the benefit of the doubt. 10 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Jarrett still with it. Now wants to take Thomas. Blows past him. The high-arcing bank shot is home. A nice move by Jarrett Jack as the quarter comes to an end.
Him pop out, and Blazers switched on it. That's why their big guy Thomas was wide open.
Stephen Graham sees a hole and flips it up and in. Right around Jalen Rose, the veteran who has checked in for Phoenix.
Boy, Nate McMillan's really hot on the bench about playing D. The Blazers just haven't been physical at all. You got to get a little physical with this team.
Marcus Banks sees that rattle out. Well, and he might not be as hot if it hadn't just happened last night.
Yeah. In the first half, it was probably the worst half for defense for the Blazers all year.
Here's Dixon in the corner, down to McGlure. Jamal, left-handed hook is off. And a loose ball foul called on Travis Outlaw, who fouled Jalen Rose as Sergio Rodriguez checking in for the Trailblazers. Sergio very aware that tonight's game is being carried live in Spain.
And I think we should mention they won the World Championship.
Yes. Sergio, a big reason.
Yeah, he had a big game in the semis of the World Championship.
17 in that game.
Yes.
Boris Diaw inside. Unobstructed to the hoop, flips it in. 8-point Phoenix lead. They continue to shoot a high percentage, 74% now, 14 of 19.
They've gone away from their pick and roll offense. They're just kind of finding the matchups that suit them and take advantage of it.
Foul called on Sergio in the backcourt. First team foul on Portland. Second team foul, First foul on Sergio.
Any way to get in the box score, get your name mentioned.
Diaw trying to take Outlaw. Finds Thomas baseline. Shot clock down to 10.
See, once again, they pick and roll, make McGlure be the guy that defends.
Jalen Rose tries a three, and it's off the mark. The rebound, Jamal McGlure. See how Portland's tempo changes with Sergio on the floor.
Yeah, a lot more pick and rolls. In fact, now the Blazers look like they're running the Phoenix offense with all kinds of pick and rolls for Sergio.
Outlaw down low. McGlure going to try to move through Thomas. Had it knocked away. McGlure barking at James Capers.
Well, McGlure hasn't hit the rim yet. I don't know if he's being fouled or what, but...
Well, that ball stripped away, and here's a three-pointer by Raja Bell that is short, and the defensive rebound claimed by McGlure.
See, and that's where Joel Prisbilla really hurt this Phoenix team. He'd run a high pick and roll, and he'd go right to the basket, and he'd end up getting nice little alley-oop passes.
That was a pick and roll, Sergio and McGlure, and Sergio hits from the outside.
You're going to get those emails again.
I hope so.
Why isn't Sergio playing?
Well, he is now.
Yeah. Marcus Banks has a tough time fitting in with this type of offense where you make good decisions at the point guard spot.
Diaw pushes away Outlaw with the off arm and then misses the shot. The rebound, Stephen Graham.
You can tell the difference when Nash is not in there for this Phoenix team.
Sergio tries to drop it to McGlure, and that should be Portland ball out of bounds with 14 to shoot. Not a pass that Nate McMillan loved, but he loves the effort and the fact that Sergio is up the Trailblazer tempo. And the lead for Phoenix is 4. He's looking very comfortable. And he's going to try and practice tomorrow. He's iffy for Tuesday, but certainly back this next week.
Yeah, I have a feeling he may go Tuesday.
Good move by Juan Dixon to clear himself some space, but missed the shot. Now Phoenix looks to push out with Marcus Banks.
The X factor so far hasn't heated it up. Juan Dixon.
Banks shuffles the feet inside, flips the ball in.
He's staying in the ball game and playing the point, but I'm sure Steve Nash, when they start running the fast break, it'll be Nash handling the ball.
Zach Randolph and Ime Udoka up off the Portland bench. They'll return next dead ball. Dixon lets a three fly and hits, so there's Juan Dixon, and that's the Juan Dixon Portland needs.
Nash was kind of inviting Juan to put it up. He was 0 for 2 up till that time.
Blazers shooting 55%. As Outlaw snags that pass. Blazers looking to draw closer. This unit has done a nice job for the Trailblazers. McGlure bullies his way to the hoop, and finally Jamal on the positive end of a whistle. And that'll be the first team foul on Phoenix here in the quarter as Ime Udoka and Zach Randolph check in. Jamal McGlure, after all that work, finally got a whistle. Now go sit down.
You have plenty
Travis
of
Outlaw will take a seat as well.
You have plenty of time to notice whether it's a foul or not. He moves like Dale Davis, kind of deliberate, and tries to get to that foul line with brute strength rather than finesse.
And we've seen a little more of Jamal's offensive game in recent days. Rodriguez flips it to Stephen Graham. Graham into a triple team.
Yeah, Rodriguez wide open. He was out of control, whether it was a charge or not. He was out of control, and he had his own man wide open. As
Mari Stoudemire was helping guide him into Marcus Banks. The crowd seeing that now, not liking it. But as you said, anytime you're out of control, you're not very often going to get those calls.
No, and they were running, and it shouldn't have been called, but he was out of control.
Jalen Rose uses the left arm to give himself some room into the face of LaMarcus Aldridge, and LaMarcus just picked up his third foul just like that, and he's bleeding. He took a shot right in the mouth. Now a timeout is going to be called, a 30-second timeout for LaMarcus, who, let's hope he didn't lose a tooth in there.
Yeah, it's pretty serious. Watch the elbow Jalen Rose comes with.
Yeah, got him right in the mouth.
Yeah.
And that may require stitches, as you can see the blood coming out on Aldridge. He'll be taken to the locker room. So rough night so far for LaMarcus Aldridge, who picked up 2 early fouls and now gets the shot in the mouth and the foul. Has 3 fouls in less than 2 minutes played.
Yeah,
and a bloody lip.
He hasn't had time to get in the flow of this game, and this is the type of game that he's perfect for.
Let's take a look at it here again. Jalen Rose leading with that elbow.
Yeah, it'll be his right there. Whoom. And don't think he didn't mean to do that. He led with the elbow to clear some space. Jalen Rose is a veteran of many seasons in the NBA and half a season on the bench for the New York Knicks, where they didn't play him very much.
And then brought him out.
But it should be perfect for this system. His skills. Just looking down to see what the Blazers might do for a big guy. And they don't have many options. They'll go with, of course, Travis
Lucas over there.
That would be a great option. Monty Williams.
Marcus Banks giving some defense to Sergio. He drops it back to Outlaw. He's been hitting this shot, not this time. And the rebound claimed down low by Phoenix, and up ahead runs Stoudemire, makes the catch, travels all over the floor, and dunks.
Man. I could see Juan just couldn't get up high enough. Travis didn't time his jump. After he missed that shot, Amari leaked out on him.
Randolph takes a little body from Kurt Thomas, and Thomas pulls down the rebound. Nash driving against Rodriguez. Another kickball for Zach Randolph. Well, we've talked about the traveling calls this year. We've seen Marcus Banks get away with 2 already in this game. Now you tell me if this is traveling.
Watch his pivot foot. Now he comes down. His right foot is his pivot foot down. He moves it. Oh, absolutely. Look at he bounced around.
He traveled 4 times in one play.
Yeah, he established the right foot and then lifted it up.
The first one I understand is Mike Callahan saying no control on the pass, but it wasn't that one that had the Blazer bench up in arms. Rose tries a 3 in the corner. That's off. Rebound Sergio, and now Blazers out 3 on 2. Phoenix, as well as they run, they get back just as well on defense.
Pretty good ball movement by the Blazers. That's what you have to do against them.
The foul on Thomas inside. And the foul will go to Marcus Banks, not Kurt Thomas. 5:30.
Around 8,000 people.
And Sergio fouled by Marcus Banks. Second foul on Banks, and the third team on Phoenix. Portland also with 3 team fouls.
You'd never know Zach Randolph is second in the NBA in free throws made. He hasn't been to the foul line tonight for the Blazers. They have really double-teamed Zach. There it is right now. They're now sending Jalen Rose after him.
Dixon has to throw up that 3. Sergio grabs the rebound, nearly got it to fall. Then it's stripped away from Randolph. Zach not happy about it. Here's Nash the other way. Stoudemire, the trailer, in the middle, wide open. Travis Outlaw had a chance to challenge, but chose not to.
Yeah, and Zach was looking at Callahan to see if he could get a call on the other end. And Travis was playing soft, and you can't do that against Phoenix. You have to really let them know that there's nothing going to be gained in the middle of that court.
Outlaw another long two. This is short. Rebound. Randolph tips one. Sergio trying to gather it in, and Amari Stoudemire running out again. Nash around a Stoudemire pick and roll. He dunks again.
And now they're running their pick and roll game. Half their possessions usually are pick and roll. And where they get you, it's different angles. On the side, top of the key. They do a lot of different angles, so you never get comfortable defending it.
Amari Stoudemire is 16 now. Kurt Thomas fouls Zach Randolph, and Zach's got to keep his composure because he's not beautiful pick and roll here.
Look at, he just spun the ball the right way, and it just spun right up into the man. That's amazing how he gets English on the basketball on bounce passes.
His first trip to the line tonight. Zach had 137 attempts in the first 14 games of the season, so that's an average of almost 10 per game. And so if you stretch that out, Mike Rice, an average of 9.8 free throw attempts over 82 games, 802 attempts. That's what he's on pace to do.
Last year, I think he was about 300 and something.
And that would shatter the franchise record.
Yeah, he's really getting to the line.
Which is 621 by Sidney Wicks back in 71-72. But 0 for 2 there for Zach.
That won't help. He's 4 behind Wade now in free throws made. So those two have a battle going, 120 to 116. So Zach could have almost taken the lead with those two.
Jarrett Jack ends up with a switch on Amari. They're going to lob it to him. Bad pass picked up by Udoka. The trailer is Ime down the middle. Sergio back on top to Jarrett Jack. Shot clock at 15. Out fights his way through the middle and is fouled. So free throws coming for Travis. But Portland is 3 of 6 at the free throw line. Not getting there, and that's what they were doing so well early in the season. Very early.
Yeah, this is more like it for Travis. Instead of trying to just hit that jump shot, challenge this Phoenix team. Make them play defense. Get to the foul line against them. LaMarcus Aldridge, we get the word cut lip, getting stitches. So let's see if LaMarcus is welcomed in the NBA and he plays the second half with stitches.
I think he will.
Yeah.
He'll certainly try.
And I'm sure the coaches will say, yeah, you got to do that.
Nice defense again by Udoka. Always in the right place at the right time. He comes up with that pass. Nash was trying to go to Amari Stoudemire down low.
Blazers aren't setting that high pick for Sergio.
Foul on Thomas inside. No, 3 seconds on Zach Randolph inside, battling with Thomas. And Rafe LaFrentz, you know, we're talking about big guys and Joel Prisbilla and whatnot, and Rafe due back anytime from that strained calf, and he's a guy that could certainly help that front line.
Oh, no doubt about it. And he gives the Blazers another option. He can go out and shoot. Makes it easier for Zach to post up inside with his shooting ability outside.
Zach caught up in a battle with Steve Nash. Nash goes right around him, missed the lay-in. Amari Stoudemire, though, tips it and keeps it alive. Phoenix out-hustling, outworking Portland right now.
Look at Nash. It's a computer brain. He just knows how to get the ball to a guy like Bell in that corner.
Raja Bell hits the 3. Phoenix now with its largest lead of the first half.
Blazers doing a lot of the ball movement, but not cutting through and man movement a little bit more.
Zach doesn't get that to fall. Rebound Marion. Zach 4 of 10 now. That a tough try on the baseline with the left hand. Nash. Raja Bell wouldn't take the 3 this time. Traveled with the ball.
Nash throws as many passes with his left hand as he does with his right.
And how about a right-handed finger roll? And Nate McMillan calls time. You can't always judge what he does, of course, on the stat sheet.
No, and the Blazers, when he went out of the game, the Phoenix started going wild, and the Blazers started catching up as soon as he comes back in.
Randolph doubled immediately. Jack out top. Dixon gets Nash in the air. Portland swings it. Look at Phoenix scrambling on defense. Nice pass to Udoka down low. Jarrett Jack. And Ime hits that with 2 to shoot.
Only if the Blazers could have a timeout every 10 seconds. They come back out on the court and really move the ball well, penetrate, kick to the open shooter. And that's how you have to play against Phoenix. You just can't fall asleep.
Jarrett, the no-look pass. 3 assists for Jack in the first half.
They have Travis just running back on defense now. He's afraid they're going to fast break him, so he's quit hitting the offensive board, and that's what this club does against you. You become so passive.
Nash for 3. Now he had to put that up. Shot clock was winding down, and the rebound taken by Dixon. Blazers trying to close this half on a positive note. Outlaw against Raja Bell. They bring the double on anybody on the low block. Dixon back to Jack. Jarrett with 8 to shoot down the middle. Didn't want to shoot it, but had no choice when he left his feet and hit the tough shot. 9 points for Jarrett here in the first half.
You can tell what Mike D'Antoni's trying to do. He's taken Zach out. Oh, Bell hits another one. And he's taken Zach right out with, they're sagging on him, double teaming him. They want the other Blazers to beat him. Every time Zach even looks like he's going to get the ball, there's 2 Phoenix Suns around him.
Raja Bell, 14 points in this first half. Amari Stoudemire, 16. They have done the heavy lifting as Jarrett Jack will shoot free throws.
Jarrett Jack, 1+1.
Jarrett had nice ball games against New Jersey, of course, last week, and taking on Jason Kidd, playing 2 of his better games of the season, and getting a different tight point guard now tonight in Steve Nash.
Yeah, and this is Nash's. There's a reason he's MVP for 2 years in a row. He can slice you up. It just looks like you're playing with your feet in sand. He's just so clever. So he got the matchup he wanted right there. Juan Dixon backed off of him, and he shoots the jumper, and he makes the jump shot.
9 points for Nash in the first half, and that Nash knowing as well how to get a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Working the shot clock.
Absolutely.
Jarrett Jack, top of the key. Jumper is long. Rebound, Amari Stoudemire. 10 seconds left. Here comes Nash. Lobs it up to Marion. The Blazers had this down to 11 a moment ago.
See, and Nash is smart enough to know the Blazers thought Phoenix was going to. Oh, what was that?
Travis for 3. Marion will try and duplicate from mid-court. And a little bit short.
Blazers nervous. All the Blazers ran back on that shot. No one was trying to get an offensive rebound.
They lob it up. Marion with the catch baseline and the jam. So not a terrific start to the second half if you're Portland looking for better defense.
Well, once
that
again,
was a great pass.
Steve Nash, just unbelievable what he can do.
Martell Webster coming out firing here in the second half. And this time he hits, and it's his first 2.
Yeah, they're really backed up away from the Blazers. They want to keep the Blazers from scoring in the paint, let them be an outside shooting team, and Blazers have to make some shots.
And by the way, LaMarcus Aldridge answering your question in the first half of if he would play with stitches in the second half, as Boris Diaw, the offensive rebound and putback.
Yeah, and he's feeling that jaw right now going up the court. I think someone whacked him again, and he's bleeding again. Right on the first play, he went to block that shot, got hit again, and the blood is streaming out of his mouth.
And what a rough night for LaMarcus Aldridge, who has been playing so well for Portland. Now trainer Jay Jensen has to strap the gloves back on and go to work, get the fight doctor back out.
Yeah,
Travis Outlaw in. So, you know, and we were looking forward to seeing LaMarcus Aldridge play against this Phoenix team, as he is so long and can run so well, and one of the best runners in the Portland team, tailor-made to play against this style.
Yeah, he can get different places as we take another jump shot, and Zach gets an offensive rebound. One of the few shots the Blazers stuck around and tried to rebound after a miss.
10 points for Randolph to go along with his 6 rebounds. Boris Diaw backing down on Outlaw.
Could have been a pound.
Nash to Marion for 3. That's a little bit long. Rebound taken by Jarrett Jack.
They started out, as you said, 1-5. They didn't have any chemistry trying to get Stoudemire back into the swing.
Zach trying to set a pick. Jared Jack down the middle. Bumped by Nash, and Nash will, of course, get that call, and we head the other way.
Once again, they're just sagging back, trying to stop Zach and any penetration. And Jared Jack knew that he was out of control a little bit.
Stoudemire. The hand check on Zach Randolph before he gets started. And that's the first foul on Zach Randolph.
Trailblazers foul, 50, Zach Randolph, first team foul.
Well, I am sure Nate reminded the team that they need to be a little more physical against this team, so a couple of bump fouls won't hurt that much.
Raja Bell through the middle. High arcing shot is short. Boy, Martell Webster's got some energy to start the second half, and that's nice to see. Ime Udoka in transition, a little short with the lay-in. Nash had set up shop looking to draw the offensive foul. Wraps it around underneath. Second shot like that tonight. Nash has missed. And the Blazers back the other way. Only a 12-point game. That's what you have to remember.
Yeah, and they'll let you back in the game. I mean, they shoot half their possessions under 2 passes.
Bad pass inside. Outlaw trying to go inside to Martell Webster. And here's Nash against Outlaw. He lobs to Marion. He puts it in. Retta McMillan calls time.
A magician. Phoenix Suns teams all were under 94 points, so they are starting to play a little more defense, and we see it here tonight. They have the Blazers now as Zach gets a chance for a 3.
As Amari Stoudemire, the bump as Zach was rambling to the hoop as Zach went right on him. You see Stoudemire shading him big time left, giving him the right. Zach took it, scored, and was fouled.
Yeah, and you're not looking at the scouting report because Zach this year has really, and each game he goes to that right hand more and more. Everybody is pushing him left as Zach is having he's only had one other bad night from the line.
He's 0 for 3 in this game.
Yeah.
85% free throw shooter on the season. Amari Stoudemire gets him back this time.
Well, micro fracture surgery wasn't too bad that time. One micro guy went around another micro guy. Man, that looked like the old Amari Stoudemire. That was so explosive.
Ime Udoka in the corner. Shot clock down to 8.
All night long they've had Steve Nash checking Udoka. That's the first time that we've seen this kind of strategy.
You know, and you talk about losing not only some of your jumping ability after the microfracture surgery, but some of your quickness. Well, that was not only powerful, but was quick and athletic, as we have come to expect from Amari Stoudemire, as Outlaw misses against the shot clock. Raja Bell for 3. That's short. Rebound inside. Randolph finally claims it for Portland. Board number 7 for Zach.
Well, 2 of the best rebounders in the NBA going at each other, Sean Marion and Zach Randolph.
Foul going to be on Boris Diaw inside as they're just taking turns on Randolph. And all of them being very physical with him as LaMarcus Aldridge finally back from the locker room. We'll see if they got that lip cleaned up again. Already has stitches. And now he's explaining to his teammates. And looks like he has a mouth guard in as well. In fact, he's showing it off to his teammates. Offensive foul, Zach Randolph down low. Zach is about at his wits' end tonight.
Yeah, they're fronting Zach very much like Bruce Bowen did for San Antonio Spurs. They're putting a man behind him, and when he catches the ball, they're bringing a guard from the top. So he's almost being triple teamed tonight. Boy, they really want Zach out of this offense.
Stoudemire travels with the ball at the foul line. They kick it back to Raja Bell. Just when you thought traveling was a point of emphasis, hasn't been when Phoenix has had the ball tonight. Nash then hits the outside shot.
If you switch your big guy, which the Blazers did, Zach Randolph, on the pick and roll, Nash will shoot it.
Outlaw inside, Randolph off the glass with the left hand. Zach having to pay for every attempt as well. It's hard-earned points, 14 of them for Randolph.
Boy, he can do things.
And Boris Diaw.
You know, they talk about Bob Cousy and some of the old timers, but none of them could pass like this guy on the move.
Technical foul called.
Who's that on Nate?
It's on Travis Outlaw.
Travis?
I think
it has to be illegal
second
deed.
technical was what they called, and
it can't be. Travis talking to the ref. Travis just doesn't do that. The sheriff would be down
right
if he did that. Of course, Travis' father is the assistant sheriff in Starkville.
Yes, Mississippi.
He doesn't have to worry about Travis.
Big John.
Off the court, Travis is one of the best. There he
Nash
goes.
takes the three and drills it as you back off him, and he makes you pay. And that's, you talk about Portland's troubles the last 2 nights in getting the ball into Zach Randolph. Nobody has hit outside shots, and with Nash, you have to respect him outside or he'll make you pay just like that.
Well, the Kings last night went behind the pick all night long as Zach gets fouled, and the Blazers never stopped and made them pay. Tonight, the Blazers go behind the pick and roll twice, and Nash hits 2 shots right away.
Free throws coming for Randolph. Matt Bolin discussing things with Mike Callahan. 13 foul on Phoenix. Marion and Boris Diaw discussing, and Raja Bell is the one the foul was on, and now he's talking about it with Matt Bolin.
Did Zach miss again?
No.
Okay. I looked down and I didn't hear the crowd, but we haven't heard the crowd for a while in this ball game. They're waiting for a Blazer comeback. When the Blazers do come back, they initiate their own, and then the crowd gets into the game. So Blazers have to go on about an 8-0 run right now.
Blazers waited until they were down 24 last night at Sacramento to start to come back, and they got it down to 10, but here's Nash again. Long this time, and Jarrett Jack finally grabs the rebound. Jack along 2, and he hits, so Jarrett Jack having a nice ball game as Phoenix looks to run it out. Marion the catch, and he flips it in, so even when you score, as you said, off a make, you'll have a guy leak out and beat you back. It's been Stoudemire doing that, but this time it was Sean Marion.
Yeah, he usually does it. He plays power forward, and usually the other power forward isn't as quick as Sean Marion. So when they leak out on makes, it's Sean Marion that does it.
Ime Udoka has his three-point percentage up over 42 now, and he hits one there in the corner.
Diaw now playing the center spot.
Turns into Jarrett Jack. The cutter is Marion, and boy, Phoenix so good at just sending people to the hole, and they have guys who will get him the ball.
How about Diaw? The Atlanta Hawks couldn't find a place for him to play. And so he sat the bench, and he comes to Phoenix, and he's an all-star.
Oh, ball loose inside. Jarrett Jack got Amari Stoudemire off his feet. Thought he was due for the automatic call, and instead Portland turns it over. And now Jarrett looking for an explanation from Mike Callahan. Let's see Jarrett here with the fake to get Amari Stoudemire up, and then Stoudemire hits him across both arms. But I think Boris Diaw might have jarred that ball loose before the foul.
Then he got raked across the arm.
Martell Webster goes down holding his right ankle. Might have rolled it, but meanwhile, another assist for Nash down low, and Nate McMillan calls time. Martell Webster hobbling to the bench. A 20-second timeout called by Portland.
The youth of...
And is having the ankle looked at by Jay Jensen. Busy night for Jay with the stitches and now an ankle. Randolph passes quickly out of the double this time. Jarrett Jackson has his pocket picked by Raja Bell. Scores and he's fouled. Juan Dixon was trailing the play. Down goes Jeremy. Yeah, he's all right. Raja helps him up.
Yeah. Because they play so small, they're used to double teaming and then playing the passing lanes, and that's what happened there. Raja Bell, they couldn't swing the ball.
Well, I mentioned Jeremy. Here he is. This was his view of the play. And he's all right.
And if they take stitches, they're right back.
Right.
I've seen him
being a baseline photographer.
Yeah.
So
They sit too close to the action, but other than that.
Well, and this is Phoenix's largest lead now. They've got it to 20. See the turnovers in the quarter. Blazers only had 6 turnovers in that win over New Jersey. Zach Randolph has that knocked away. Everything Portland has tried to do, and Zach Randolph's about to get a technical foul. James Capers shows some tremendous restraint not to call him for one there. Blazers confused defensively. Outlaw caught in a pick. Doesn't get out to cover Diao, and he hits the 3.
Well, this almost reminds one of the 45-point loss the Blazers had last December 9th in Phoenix. You remember that night?
Yes.
You'd like not to.
Udoka tries another 3, and that rims off. And well, Portland's offensive game plan, they just haven't been able to get into it. And travel, Nate McMillan barking at Callahan and assisting on the call.
Yeah, Nate. They've moved the pivot. Watch the pivot feet now. He bounces there. See, it's a big, like a hop, skip, and a jump. You can see Sean Marion getting ready to double down.
Randolph inside, missed it that time. Got a good look, and a tip up and in by Randolph. How to get that home?
Zach has been a warrior the whole year. Ooh.
But Phoenix pushing back the other way, and Raja Bell tries a 3, and it's off. Outlaw, Jack, Randolph, all there for the rebound. They all knock it out of bounds together, so Phoenix will have it with 3 to play here in the third.
You mentioned earlier, MB, Dallas started 0-4. This team 1-5, but they've had long. This would be 6 out of 7 for Phoenix. Dallas has won 8 in a row. They beat San Antonio in San Antonio the other night.
Outlaw rejects that attempt by Thomas inside. Dixon pulls the trigger over Nash and hits.
Would this be the start of the Comeback Kids rally?
Suns have made it look awfully easy so far tonight. Randolph grabs the rebound off that Nash miss.
Of course, Phoenix was already here yesterday when the Blazers were playing the Kings, so they're rested.
Dixon again, this time short. The rebound pulled down by Raja Bell, who brings it up in transition.
See, it's just not Nash that gets the pick and rolls. That was the side pick and roll. Kurt Thomas set a nice pick for Raja Bell. So you have to be aware of the pick and roll by anybody on this team.
Phoenix starters tonight have played so well. Raja Bell 19 in the ball game. The foul inside. It's going to be on Kurt Thomas. He and Zach Randolph have been battling all night. Zach taking a beating inside. 18. Jamal McGlure in for Portland. Zach Randolph 18 points, 9 rebounds through 3 quarters. Sergio Rodriguez back in for Portland.
Yeah, and Zach shooting 50%. It's not like he's taking a lot of shots tonight.
Dixon takes a pretty good hit, flips it in. Marion played good defense, just a better shot by Juan Dixon, who has 7.
So the problems that the Blazers have with this Phoenix team, there's so many guys that can take you off the dribble, and that's not the Blazer.
That's a play call out of the timeout.
Yeah.
And a beautiful look. Diao to Marion. There's a jump ball called at the other end.
So you can off the dribble here, and you got Diao, and there's a guy, the high flyer, Sean Marion. He usually doesn't miss that, but Barbarossa, Nash, Diao, Marion, Barbosa, they can all take you off the dribble. And the Blazers defensively, when they try to help out, that's when they get in a little bit of trouble. They don't see people going behind them on those alley-oops.
Outlaw easily wins the tip. Here's Rodriguez at the other end, throws it right to Sean Marion. Diao fouled by Outlaw on the pass. And that'll be the 3rd team foul on Portland, so good foul to take. First foul in the last 2 minutes for Portland.
First the last 2 minutes.
And there is Leandro Barbosa. Thank you, Mike Rice.
Yeah, and he's a player. He's having his best year. Young man from Brazil.
Marion hits his first 3 of the game.
Barbosa has 6'10" wingspan. Tremendous arm.
McGlure flips that up short. Rebound taken by Kurt Thomas. Marcus Banks, full head of steam. Back to Raja Bell, who's had a great night. Bell hits another 3.
Raja Bell was a key to this team's playing. Everyone thought they were going to fold when they lost Stoudemire with the knee injury, but they didn't.
Sergio, pull-up jumper from 10.
Yeah, he's going to have to take that because they're playing him head up. They're not bringing any defenders to him.
And a carry called on Marcus Banks, about the 4th one of the game. First one that's been called. 26 seconds left, so 2-second difference, shot clock and game clock.
It'll be interesting to see how much of Stoudemire and Nash we see in the 4th quarter.
Well, Blazers trying to get something in this last possession. Udoka picks it up and then is mowed down, and it's just out of bounds to Portland.
No, they're going to call a foul on that.
Mark Callahan does. And it'll be free throws for Udoka.
You've heard the old salt in the wounds. You got to call that.
Well, the Trailblazers last night, of course, gave up a big shooting percentage to Sacramento and gave up 87 points through 3 quarters. That was a season high. And you can see with Phoenix already at 93, a new opponent season high.
Well, you talk about teams in the West. This Phoenix team is in last place in the Pacific Division. So that tells you something about the West.
Long.
No. There are 9 teams, 10 now, that are over 500 in the West. There are only 3 teams in the East over 500. So the West is just dominating in their matchups against the East.
Banks, short, and that'll do it for quarter number 3.
Between Raja Bell's 8 for 15.
6 for 10 from behind the three-point line, by the way.
Yeah. They're 3rd in the NBA at three-point shooting, so this is not unusual for them.
Dixon gets that back. Bell thought about another one, then lost his footing. And a foul call on Portland. The foul's going to be on Sergio Rodriguez. Crowd didn't like the call. Blazer bench didn't either. And here's the block shot by McGlure helping out. You see Marion just kind of lost the ball there, but good help side defense by Jamal.
Yeah, we've been kind of waiting for Jamal to do some things like that in the shot blocking department.
Marcus Banks off with that jumper.
Fans are getting a little antsy with these long rebounds.
Not the hustling, scrapping team they have come to love this season.
Even Banks looks good on the pick and roll now.
Thomas short with that. McGlure grabs the rebound. Sergio tries a 3 and cans it. So Sergio hits his first 3 of the season. He's now 1 for 7. And that's a big one as Portland attempts to come back with plenty of time left.
Well, Sergio adjusted to them going behind on the pick and roll. He just stopped and took the three-point shot.
Missed shot by Thomas. Rebound picked up by Martell. We'll see if this unit can keep some positive energy going for Portland. Martell Webster tries a 3, and that's good.
Have we counted the Blazers out too early?
You did. 10-19 left. Plenty of time.
Have done their part. They're 8 for 12, Jared Jack and Sergio in this ball game, simply because that's what Phoenix wants to give the Blazers, point guard shots. And, of course, they haven't been able to stop Phoenix at all tonight at any time.
Well, Steve Nash back in, by the way. Marcus Banks out. So he is kind of like the fire department. You call him and things get a little out of control. He comes in, puts out the fire. We'll see if he does that here. Marcus Banks, not that he was playing bad, but Nash is clearly at a different level as Marion makes the first free throw.
Yeah, as soon as you make 2 in a row, the good thing is you've cut into the lead. The bad thing is it's the Nash call. And Mr. Nash back in the ballgame.
Phoenix 13 of 16 from the free throw line as a team. Sean Marion 15 points now. Sergio around a double pick. Outlaw then kicks out for a long two, and that is long, and the rebound Nash.
And they immediately know to get the ball to Nash back.
McGlure got a piece of that, coming over to help, and it's out of bounds to Phoenix. 15 to shoot.
Nash, one of the leaders in the NBA at turnovers. But all the big scorers, Wade, Nash, Iverson, they're up in the top 5 in turnovers because they try to do a lot when they have the ball.
Travis Outlaw had to tie his shoe. That's why the little bit of a hold-up. The official's always good about finding another reason to delay the game while the player gets set. Nash off with that shot. Rebound, though, inside by Thomas. That's a killer when you try to make a comeback. Here's Banks, who's still in the game. I said he was out a moment ago. On top to Nash. Banks. Marion. Floater is home. Difficult shot by Sean Marion, but we've come to expect that from him.
Sean Marion, in the past, he's always been up there in 5 different categories, and points, rebounds, steals, blocks, minutes played. He's always in the top 10 in the NBA in those categories. Not a bad guy to have.
Dixon a long 3, they say. Looking at it foot on the line. Rebound, Amari Stoudemire. Banks pick and roll with Amari. Ball knocked away and stolen. Outlaw came up with it and gives it right back to Marion. Turnover number 14 for Portland. You can live with 14 turnovers.
Yeah.
Thomas takes a long 2 outside, missed the shot, rebound McGlure.
He can make that shot. That's one place that he fits in on the pick and pop. He can make an outside shot.
Outlaw. It's the 2, so Travis continues to take the 2s and continues to hit. 14 points for him in this game. Nobody comes to get Nash. He missed the lay-in. Ball loose, picked up by Sergio. Rodriguez, some fancy dribbling to get through the double team, and he scores.
Doesn't that have to be carrying or something?
I don't know.
How could you do that? 2 dribbles from half court.
He went into a crowd and came out the other side with the ball. Marion shot blocked by Mahomes, but he couldn't control it. And Phoenix will have it back with 11 to shoot.
The Blazers go down and get a 3 that had only been 12 down.
Take a look a moment ago at Sergio.
Let's see how he does
magician.
this. Oh, look at this. Well, I guess.
Banks might have fouled him as well.
Yeah.
Then down here, McGlure gets the block shot. Amari inside takes the hit from McGlure and earns himself a couple of free throws.
Yeah, he's slowly but surely getting there. They said he's only shooting 60%, so we're working the rust off, getting him back into shape. So tonight, a lot of the rust is off. 8 for 9 from the field.
He had 16 points in the first half and just hasn't been needed as much here in the second. Just 3 points so far.
But you can't concentrate on any one guy. They have 6 players in double figures, and 4 of the 5 starters shoot over 50%. So their whole game is offense.
Sergio finds Webster open for 3 corner, and Martell hits another one. So Portland kind of trying to play Phoenix style to get back in this game, and so far it's been more successful than the other things they have tried in this game. As Nash, that time, you get so set for him to dish it off that it almost surprises you when he flips it up to the hoop, but if nobody comes to him, that's always an option.
Yeah, and that was side pick and roll. They've used about 8 different positions for their pick and roll.
Outlaw into a double. Wild shot. Missed it. Got it back. Tried to tip anyway, and then Phoenix comes up with it. 3-on-3. Raja Bell. Again. What a night for Raja Bell. 7 for 11 from behind the 3-point line for Raja Bell, and a season high for him in the half.
Strickland at 20. I remember that night so well.
You indeed are correct.
Rod was hanging out at McDonald's the night before.
No, that was in Chicago.
Oh, that was Chicago.
Missed shot by McGlure from the elbow, and the rebound picked up by Phoenix.
Phoenix is at their season average for points, 107.
Nash to the hoop. Nobody following to grab the rebound, and Kurt Thomas flips that back up and in.
You have to be really focused and not play the night before when you play Phoenix. So you just know what you want to do against them.
Rodriguez, the nice pick and roll, as you see how he's Steve Nash-like a little bit in the way that he plays the pick and roll with Jamal McGlure that time.
Yeah.
And the drive and kick ability that Sergio has.
Now they're going over because he made a couple of shots. They're trying to go over the pick, and that's when Sergio really can slice you up, picking guys in the corner or the roll man. When they were going behind, he had to make some shots, and he made the adjustment. He did make 2 shots, and that brought him back out. That's what Steve Nash would do to you.
And I would have thought that if you're Phoenix back on draft day, looking for perhaps a backup, that Sergio Rodriguez would have made a terrific protege.
Yeah, there's no
Steve Nash, I mean.
But they just signed a big contract for Barbosa.
Correct. Nash has to fade, missed the bank shot, rebound McGlure. Outlaw foul as he attempts the difficult fading to Stoudemire. Picks up the foul and obviously agrees with the call. And that is his 5th foul.
Martell Webster, you fans are maybe wondering, where is he in this type of game? That's Martell is in the game now, but he had made a couple of defensive mistakes, and they wanted to explain that to him. Now he's back in, and that's what you have to do with young guys. Take them out of the game, show them where they're making mistakes. They'll show this tape tomorrow, I am sure. Getting ready for Indiana, rather than talking about Indiana, they'll show them what they did wrong against the Suns. That's a good learning tool for young teams.
Nash takes the 3 and hits out top.
How can you stop this guy?
He's 2 for 5 now from behind the 3-point line. Phoenix as a team 11 for 23.
And he doesn't have hair anymore in his eyes, so you can't stop him.
Outlaw slices to the hoop and lays it in, so Travis having a nice game offensively for Portland. 18 points for Outlaw.
Steve Nash, now his hair was never that dark, was it?
I don't know. Are you suggesting he colored it?
Well, I'm not sure, but it's always seemed to be a lighter shade.
I don't know. It was longer, I know that.
Brandon Roy right there. Oh, I can hardly wait till he gets back. He's an exciting player.
The last 2 nights have made us especially long for Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
Nash inside, scores, and he's fouled. As McGlure picks up the foul.
He just makes it look too easy.
Sergio, excuse me.
Just too easy. Watch this now. They kind of back up on him, and Nash waits. Okay, are you going to, big guy, are you going to step up? You're going to back up? Okay, you're backing up. I'm going to take an extra dribble.
He always reminds me of one of those terrific quarterbacks who used to run the option, who would wait till the last second to give to the fullback and then would pull it out and hit the corner, pitch at the right time, turn it up at the right time, and that's what he does run the Suns offense.
Yeah, it looked like Oklahoma, one of those quarterbacks of the past.
Sergio called for the carry out top. Portland turns it over for the 15th time.
Well, Matt Boland really didn't know if his BB worked in the whistle.
Well, you got to keep it
so once in a while
you use it once in a while. Well, and last night, of course, Trailblazers lost at Sacramento, and we flew home, and Nate McMillan not happy with the loss in Sacramento, and it's usually a little bit of a surprise. As finally Raja Bell proves he's human from behind the 3-point line. Yeah. But normally the Blazers will not have a morning shoot-around following a back-to-back, or the first of a back-to-back on the road. But the Blazers shot around at 10 o'clock this morning, which was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, I really thought if it was any other team they wouldn't have, but they really had to explain to the Blazers, the young guys, how you're going to play Steve Nash. Okay, when he does this on the pick and roll, and they run that pick and roll from every angle you could possibly have, so they, I'm sure, walk through all that, but you just can't get it in a shoot-around.
Jared Jack, nice pass. Travis Outlaw takes the baseline, hits again. Outlaw 20, a season high for Travis here in this game.
The last 4 or 5 games, he's shown some consistency. That's what they wanted from Travis Outlaw, and they're starting to get that.
Raja Bell misses 1-3, so he takes a couple of steps in and gets it back going again. Bell has 30 tonight.
Yeah, that was called from the bench. Mike D'Antoni said, okay, let me get Raja into this offense.
Martell Webster. Travis has already tied his career high. Has that shot blocked and then picked up by Thomas. Here comes Nash. Marion, Stoudemire over the back of Martell Webster. And that's 6 for Stoudemire, so he's gone.
They do have a good time playing with Steve Nash, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire. It's fun basketball to watch and to play.
As James Jones checks in for the first time. And James Jones, a guy we saw a lot playing for Phoenix last year. He just hasn't yet gotten into the rotation.
And remember, Barbosa has a long-term contract, so Mr. Jones isn't going to get a lot of playing time. And he didn't do badly for him last year.
No. Martell for 3. Hits again his 3rd three-pointer. All coming in the quarter.
Yeah, he looks like Reggie Miller in this quarter, just catching it and shooting it.
Much more aggressive than Martell Webster, and obviously.
Now, does he pound the ball or not? I don't know.
Turnover, James Jones down for Kurt Thomas. Kurt Thomas says, my fault. And a timeout on the floor, but Phoenix got up.
Boy, they're shooting 48% from the three-point line. They shoot 38%, which is very good in the NBA. It's about 4th. But they really hit the three-pointers tonight.
56% overall. Jared Jack gets it back from Sergio. Tough shot. Nearly got it to fall. Jamal McGlure grabs the rebound and a loose ball foul on Burke for Pat Burke for Phoenix, who's just entered the ball game. As Steve Nash has seen his night come to a close.
I'll tell you, he is some player.
2 minutes.
Phoenix now in a zone. Outlaw takes Raja Bell baseline. Travis has a new career high. 8 for 17 shooting for Travis. 22 points. 3 assists.
And I bet it's a career high for minutes played. He has now played 43 minutes of this ball game.
And he got a piece of that shot. Should have gotten a block on it. Didn't. Well, LaMarcus Aldridge, of course, with his split lip and foul trouble. That's one reason they've had to go so long with Travis Outlaw.
Right. Boy, this is great experience this game would have been for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Jared Jack through the middle. Through the lane up short.
That was Chalupas. the last hope for the fans here tonight are Chalupas. A groan went up on that miss.
Pat Burke takes a left-handed 3, and that's off, and the rebound claimed by Sergio.
You can hear the fans in the background.
McGlure slices around Burke and lays it in.
Well, no one will be hungry tonight.
Diao, shot clock down to 5. Raja Bell says, why not? As Raja Bell could have had a new career high with that bucket.
And that's why they left Raja Bell in there, to get that career high. They won't have another chance for a shot.
Jared Jack thought about the three, instead going to take the two and left it short as well. Been that kind of night. And Phoenix won't have to shoot, and the Suns will take the first of 4 regular season meetings tonight. The Trailblazers humbled last night in Sacramento, and then again on their home floor where they've been so good in this season.